Fardelli Hazrat, मैं आप सबका खैर मक़दम करती हूँ. I want to welcome everybody to this session on strengthening human rights and global justice, the Ombudsman's contribution in the international context. As you all know, the institution of the Ombudsman, which originated in Sweden in 1809, has spread, they say, to about 100 countries. Some of these institutions are based at the regional or local levels. There are also institutional ombudsmen with respect to collection of countries. Like there is a European Ombudsman in Strasbourg. In Pakistan, the Ombudsman was introduced in 1983, and Pakistan currently has 5 federal ombudsmen. The Wafaqi Muhtasib, the Federal Tax Ombudsman, the Federal Insurance and Ombudsman, a Banking Ombudsman, and the Federal Ombudsman for Women. There has only been one woman, and she was Mira Fidesz, who was the Ombudsman for 2 years in India. And I believe that this institution has developed so much that there can be an internal ombudsman and there can also be a military ombudsman. To discuss this extremely important subject, especially with the results it brings for human rights, we have today a very famous scholar, Mr. Marino from Italy. He was born in 1894. He holds a degree in literature and philosophy from the University of Marino, Italy, and has founded and led cultural associations for the promotion and dissemination of local history and memory in Italy. He has served as a city councillor for a few years in his hometown of Cassino and was also president of the council. He was also the regional councillor in Lazio. Since then, in 2021, he has been the ombudsman of the Lazio region. And since 2022, he has been the president of the National Coordination of Ombudsmen of the Italian region and autonomous provinces. He has written 2 books on the Red Earth, the Little Private Diary of Ombudsman in Cameroon, and the Red Tangerines in Diacho, the figure of Carabinieri Marino for dead 60 years after the first Mafia massacre. Whatever that means, I hope you will explain. I have great pleasure in introducing him. On my left is the Ombudsman of Sindh, and I will introduce him when he gets the floor. Mr. Marino, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this moment. Mi rivolgo a voi in qualità di difensore civico della Regione Lazio in Italia per ringraziarvi di questo grande e alto momento di confronto insieme a voi all'interno di una istituzione come la vostra, che significa tanto sui temi che riguardano gli affari internazionali e come anche think tank all'interno di un mondo che guarda con attenzione a quello che succede oltre i confini.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I am addressing you today as Ombudsman of Lazio, as Ombudsman of Italy, and I would like to speak about the fundamental importance for the protection of human rights and the promotion of global justice. It is a privilege to take part in this academic session entitled Strengthening Human Rights and Global Justice, the Ombudsman's contribution in the international context at this very prestigious Pakistan Institute of International Affairs.
È un privilegio poter dare il proprio contributo, la propria visione da una panoramica italiana a un tema che richiede un grande sforzo di impegno come quello del rafforzamento dei diritti umani, la giustizia globale, il contributo dell'Ombudsman in un contesto internazionale presso questo prestigioso Pakistan Institute of International Affairs.
And it is also an honor for me to give you a perspective about an Italian opinion about the role of Ombudsman and particularly about the issues which are no longer issues of national context but they also have an international importance and values. So I'm really thinking that we are going to have some interactive discussion about this aspect.
Un doveroso ringraziamento a Sua Eccellenza Dottor Danilo Giordanella, Console Generale d'Italia presso Karachi, per aver voluto condividere un grande momento di incontri istituzionali per far comprendere anche questa visione italiana sul tema dei diritti.
And I would especially like to thank Mr. Danilo Giordanella, the Consul General of Italy here in Karachi, who has taken this initiative to bring both institutions together and also to introduce Italian perspective about collaboration in the fields of human rights and global justice.
Insieme al collega Mr. Ajaz Ali Khan e al gruppo di lavoro dell'Ombudsman della regione del Sindh, posso affermare che la nostra filosofia di lavoro in Italia, ma così come in Pakistan, non è quella non mi interessa, è un qualcosa che interessa gli altri e pertanto il nostro contributo sui temi che riguardano il nostro ruolo, le nostre funzioni è giusto e doveroso portarle all'attenzione della maggior parte dei cittadini.
And obviously, I would also like to mention here my colleague, Mr. Ajaz Ali Khan, as Ombudsman of Sindh, who has also invited me officially for this collaboration. And I think it's also a good start of collaboration between both the institutions, particularly regarding themes of fundamental rights of citizens, also about Pakistanis who are living in Italy. And also, I would like to draw your attention towards the role of mediator or ombudsman, that is, as a guarantor of fundamental rights of citizens to promote justice, equality, transparency in actions of the institutions in an international context. And I think it's also very important to involve today's generations about speaking about these topics.
Nell'attuale contesto di sfide globali, conflitti, migrazioni, cambiamenti climatici, pandemie, la tutela dei diritti umani assume una connotazione ancora più importante e la promozione della giustizia globale sono cruciali anche nel nostro mondo, nella nostra funzione di ombudsman.
And in the current context of global challenges such as conflicts, mass migrations, climatic change, and pandemics, the protection of human rights and the promotion of global justice, these are extremely crucial issues, and in this scenario, the role of ombudsman extends beyond national borders. So, acquiring an international dimension in the protection of human rights, moment like this, in which I'm here with you as my colleague, Mr. Ajaz Ali Khan, as Ombudsman of Sindh, he is also trying to help us obtain a clearer and more understandable vision of what is happening, particularly in this part of the world regarding these issues. So maybe we have culturally different contexts, but on one hand, this also enriches our personal understanding and issues which also affect each other.
Voglio soffermarmi su una questione che non riguarda solo una porzione del mondo, ma tutto il mondo, qual è quella legata alla innovazione e alla transizione digitale, capace di generare una cittadinanza digitale dove tutti possono accedere a tutte le informazioni e alla possibilità di semplificare anche il rapporto tra il cittadino e la pubblica amministrazione, le imprese, gli affari, la politica.
So, the participation of citizens, particularly in today's modern world, which has also evolved in this age of digital citizenship, or we can say that the access to digital media has also expanded the role of ombudsman, because now people are more aware about issues. They can also talk about these fundamental rights using the social media and other contexts which is available to them. So also our role as ombudsman also enhances, and we need to be also more active in this front.
Ma questa cittadinanza digitale non avviene sempre in maniera molto semplificata, nitida, e il rapporto tra il cittadino e la pubblica amministrazione trova dei punti di forza e di debolezza nel rapporto appunto tra il cittadino e noi che invece rivestiamo un ruolo per semplificare questo rapporto tra il cittadino stesso e che vuole essere più cittadino digitale possibile. E quindi tanti cittadini, penso anche la stessa cosa succede al mio collega, si rivolgono a noi con istanze che riguardano appunto questa cittadinanza digitale.
So the ombudsman, as a neutral and independent figure, he can play an important role in promoting solutions as a facilitator while also addressing these challenges. So by facilitating negotiation, mediating disputes and promotion of peaceful solutions, the ombudsman can help create an environment of justice, peace and prosperity for all the people and citizens. Yes, sir.
Un tema su cui vorrei portarvi all'attenzione è che però la cittadinanza digitale, le nuove tecnologie nascondono anche delle trappole.
And I would also like to mention here an example where most of the time, in times of conflict, where citizens do not get access to information and they are not allowed to talk about certain issues and conflicts which are very important for our age.
Uno degli esempi più lampanti che arrivano sulle nostre televisioni nel mondo, diciamo sulla parte dell'Europa, in Italia, è l'uso sconsiderato delle fake news, dove purtroppo ci sono notizie che dicono che l'invasore diventa il buono e quello che è stato aggredito diventa quello cattivo. E davanti a una fake news che diventa virale, poi non si comprende qual è la verità e qual è la bugia. Questa è una delle preoccupazioni che esiste nella cittadinanza digitale.
So, technology and human rights are a double-sided combination. If on one hand we have innovations that can produce even more capillary and invasive forms of control in the private sharing of this information among individuals, but on the other hand, sometimes we also have control by the authorities which can also manipulate the information, and citizens do not have access to the truth, and most of the time the news is actually fake news. So this also creates a sort of confusion in the better understanding of the conflicts and the nature of conflict.
Abbiamo assistito nel nostro mondo a delle campagne di disinformazione su temi che sono anche divisivi, e però d'altro canto la campagna MeToo ha contribuito a sensibilizzare in maniera effettiva l'opinione pubblica sul tema delle molestie sessuali, oppure quella sulla campagna Be Brave Like Ucraina, sii coraggioso come l'Ucraina, che ha invogliato tanti cittadini a dare un sostegno reale a una popolazione che è stata invasa.
So, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights has highlighted the importance of this transformation. Social media, for example, have given voices to real global civic awareness programs, strengthening and consolidating the role played by individual actors all over the world. Just think of the effect of the movements on the worldwide campaign like Be Brave Like Ukraine, with the aim of spreading the acts of courage and atrocities suffered by the Ukrainian people online. As anticipated, the Russian-Ukrainian conflict has recently shown once again, and with particular clarity, what are the risks associated with a cyber war. A scenario in which one can define it as a real social war is also taking place. A war fought with consensus conditioning strategies implemented above all through social networks, which could also affect the real recent code of conduct and disinformation of the European Commission that was adopted in June 2022 and signed by some large digital platforms to fight online disinformation.
E voglio portarvi all'attenzione di una campagna di comunicazione e informazione che personalmente ho messo in campo all'interno delle scuole della Regione Lazio, Roma e provincia, cioè quella di cominciare dagli studenti, dai ragazzi a investire sul tema della formazione nella scuola. E io penso che anche questa opportunità che è stata messa in campo da noi possa essere ripetuta anche dal mio collega della regione del Sind, investendo in formazione e comunicazione all'interno delle scuole, a partire dai bambini, a partire dalla scuola, perché questo è il più grande come dire, progetto, percorso che si può spendere sul mercato per la crescita personale di una popolazione più elevata e più consapevole delle proprie potenzialità.
So in this regard, I have taken a personal initiative in my region as Ombudsman of Italy that I introduced this campaign of information through schools, and I would like the same steps to be taken by my colleague here in this province so that we can inform our young population and generations to come about these issues which also affect each other.
Io penso che in questi giorni, ripeto, grazie al grande impegno del consolato italiano, mi ha permesso di conoscere tanti di voi. Oggi rivedo tanti amici, sorelle tra voi. Io penso che possiamo benissimo declinare il titolo di questa conferenza di oggi, qual è il supporto del mediatore, dell'Ombudsman a livello internazionale, dicendo che a Karachi in questi giorni è cominciata una sorta di piattaforma programmatica per lavorare insieme e per accorciare quelle distanze che già a livello diplomatico esistono tramite le ambasciate di riferimento, ma anche tra noi che lavoriamo a stretto giro con i cittadini, a gomito, e che possa cominciare davvero oggi insieme a voi la stesura, la scrittura di un'agenda Karachi insieme con voi, che siete un think tank di riferimento, ma insieme all'Ombudsman e insieme a tutte le forze, alle diplomazie economiche, sociali e governative, per andare incontro a quelle che sono davvero le reali esigenze dei cittadini.
And in this regard, since as I already informed you that this initiative of bridging the gap between Italy and Pakistan has already been taken by our CG in Karachi, Mr. Yudanella. So I really hope that maybe we can start this event as Agenda Karachi, and we can start a collaboration, a tripartite collaboration between the Ombudsman Office of Sindh and the Pakistan Institute of International Affairs to talk about the issues which basically Pakistani citizens in Italy are facing, and we can, as I have had the opportunity to know many Pakistanis in these 2 days here in Karachi, so we can maybe draft an agreement, an MOU, and we can move forward from here to work together for protecting the global rights and the rights of Pakistanis and the rights of Italian population.
Ringrazio il PIIA per avermi dato la possibilità di essere presenti tra voi. Ho provato, scusatemi se c'è qualche errore nella traduzione, ma a definirmi come uno di voi, uno della vostra famiglia, e da oggi in poi essere considerato all'interno della vostra famiglia, non solo per quello che rappresento qui a livello istituzionale o in Italia, ma per cercare di collaborare realmente su quel proseguimento dei diritti umani a beneficio dei cittadini per una giustizia globale.
And I think that maybe, as I have told you, that I have not been perfect enough in representing the case myself, but this is going to be a very collaborative step in moving forward from here. And as I consider myself to be one of you, even if we are from culturally a different context, but we are sharing each other's problems and we are here to talk about them. And this is going to be like bridging the gap between our communities, and it could be a start of a very collaborative relationship.
Nel mese di settembre 2023 abbiamo l'obiettivo, ci stiamo lavorando anche grazie con i buoni uffici del collega della regione del Sin, alla realizzazione di una conferenza internazionale degli Ombudsman, dove Roma sarà la capitale del mondo sul tema dei diritti umani, del diritto alla salute, del diritto all'informazione e della cittadinanza globale. E volevo altresì dire alla dottoressa, come la pronuncia esatta?
Dr. Masuma Hassan.
Masuma, dico bene, dottoressa Masuma, che lei è stata ambasciatrice a Vienna, e a Vienna ha sede il nostro istituto, la segreteria generale del nostro istituto PIIA, International Ombudsman Institute, e sono certo che anche grazie a lei, con questo link creato oggi, PIIA e i nostri rispettivi uffici della difesa civica Pakistan e Italia possano collaborare sotto l'egida del PIIA per la buona riuscita di questa conferenza. Grazie a tutti.
And so in September, I am going to organize a conference of ombudsmen from all over the world. They are going to meet in Rome, and I hope that even Dr. Masuma Hassan would like to be part of that conference, and he would also extend an official invitation to you. And since you have been also ambassador in Vienna, where we also have the Secretary General of International Ombudsman Office, and this is going to be an event of global importance where people from all over the world will come. They will talk about the challenges and the issues that we face together. And thank you so much to all of you being such a wonderful audience today.
Thank you, Dr. Fardelli, for your very stimulating speech about the work you do and about your commitment to the work of the Ombudsman. I would welcome any MOU that you wish to sign with us in consultation and also in combination with the Sindh Ombudsman. And we'll be very happy, I'm sure the Institute and my colleagues here will be very happy to host any events which have to do with the promulgation and the protection of human rights through the institution of the Ombudsman.
Siamo molto grati a lei per essere qui e siamo ben contenti di firmare qualsiasi iniziativa o un MOU insieme al collega Ejaz Ali Khan per quanto riguarda la tutela e la protezione dei diritti dei i cittadini pakistani o anche i cittadini italiani, e qualsiasi collega dal nostro ufficio sarebbe anche contento di partecipare.
Let me say that by way of additional introduction of Mr. Fardelli, that he has also been in politics. He was a member of a party called the People's Party, which is a moderate party in Italy. And it is interesting as I read his CV that one of the books which he has written, The Tangerines of PIIA, I think it is, which explores his personal experience as a victim of the mafia. So during the question-answer session, we might ask him what his experience was as a victim of the mafia and which mafia.
Allora, leggendo il suo curriculum si nota che lei è stato anche una vittima della mafia, quindi durante le domande, la sessione delle domande, potremo anche sentire un attimo la sua esperienza come una vittima di mafia.
I would like to now introduce our second speaker, Mr. Ejaz Ali Khan, who is the Ombudsman of Sindh. In his distinguished tenure in this position, he has brought relief to hundreds of, maybe thousands of citizens who have had complaints against the administration. He has been in this position for a few years, and I request him to please address the audience.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Dr. Masuma Hassan, Honorable Marino, Honorable Excellency Marino,
So, Mike,
Mike,
please, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is really for me an honor and a privilege to be with all these distinguished people and our guest from Lazio, Italy. Where is Mr. Harun? It's okay, okay. He doesn't need translation. All right. So, first of all, let me welcome you once again to this city of Karachi, to the province of Sindh, which is the cradle of Indus civilization. The people over here, as I mentioned earlier, during the initial stages, prehistoric civilization we have, Mohenjo-daro. And the next time when you come, hopefully in December, not just this December, but any December, because we don't want to take you over there in summer. It is pretty hot over there. So we would like to show you the place over there. It's really worth seeing. And thank you for your very enlightening talk that you give us right now. The institution of Ombudsman is a very old one. In fact, it has its roots in even much longer in the history than 1805 in Sweden. In fact, that was inspired, we would say, as we were discussing today at the governor's house about the Adle Jahangiri and the bell, you know, that was kind of the instant relief that was given to the people. So that was kind of the ombudsman, right? And in fact, as far as I know, the Swedish king, when he was in exile in Turkey, he became aware of this system. And when he went back, he introduced this office of ombudsman in his country. So it has its roots basically in much earlier history. Ombudsmanship in these days, I think it has become one of the most essential ingredients of any governance. and it is throughout the world. At present, we have like more than 200 ombudsmen who are part of the IOI, International Ombudsman Institution, and this is more than 100 countries. And there are many who still want to become part of this institution, and they have been applying off and on for this membership. I'm really pleased to have Mr. Marino here. We had a discussion a long time back, a few months back, on a virtual meeting. And when I also extended the invitation to him to come over here and visit Pakistan, and he extended the invitation to me. Hopefully in September I will be there for this conference that he is organizing. And I also wish him really very well with that conference. Ombudsmanship is an essential feature, as I said now, throughout the world. It's a requirement of every modern society. Why? Because that's how we ensure safety and protection of the human rights, especially for the people who are marginalized, who are below the poverty line, and who are not able to or not able to afford the kind of judicial expense to get justice. In our case, we have been entertaining people from all over the province, and mostly our clients are those who are downtrodden, who come from very poor and backward backgrounds. We have an outreach in the entire province. We have 19 regional offices, besides the headquarters that we have over here. We have a sizable number of consultants and advisors who are also investigation officers. And we try to provide to the people who are victims of any administrative injustice, provide them justice without any expense to them, and at the fastest possible speed that we can. That has been our mission, that has been our motto, and that is what we try to do. And as I had mentioned earlier, on average, the number of complaints that we receive is between 8,000 to 10,000 a year, and we try to accommodate all of these. As far as the internationalization is concerned of the Ombudsman institution, we have international Ombudsman institution, and almost all the ombudsmen and the countries are members of this institution. It is a very democratic institution. It has a democratically elected president. Right now it is Mr. Crispy. He comes from Australia. He was here with us a couple of months back. And then it has a board of directors which is representative from all regions of the world. And fortunately, I'm one of the directors who was elected from Pakistan. So I represent Pakistan on the board of directors of the International Ombudsman Institution. We have regular meetings, annual meetings, general assemblies. So it is over there that we exchange ideas. We learn from the best practices of different countries and how we can benefit from there. We have principles like the Venice principles, which have been adopted by most of the countries. Then also, the United Nations, it has recognized the Ombudsman institution, and right now the IOI is actively engaged with the UN to seek the observer status, the official observer status for the UN. So hopefully we will be able to get that, and once we do that, it makes it far more global than actually what we see today. So as far as an MOU is concerned, yes, we are willing to do that, but as we discussed, we will be waiting for the initial draft that you send us. We will discuss it, and hopefully in September we should be able to finalize it and maybe sign it over there in Rome. I would like to thank the Pakistan Institute of International Affairs for arranging this program and also giving me an opportunity to be part of it. Thank you very much. We look forward to further engagements. Thank you.
Thank you, Hijaz sir. Let me say that we are very honored by the presence of two distinguished consuls general, the Consul General of Italy and of Indonesia. Now we can open the floor to questions and answers if there are any questions. Ji, aapko diji.
My name is Fardelli. I am a graduate last year served as addition teacher in the Ombudsman Secretary, Ombudsman Secretary. My question is addressed to the honorable Italian guest. Since he talked about war between Russia and Ukraine and human rights of the people in that area, so I want to draw his attention towards the long conflict, 75 years old conflict of Palestine and the rights of people, Palestinian people. Whether any efforts should be taken for safeguard of their rights vis-a-vis the injustice being meted out to them by Israel since 75 years.
Ringrazio per questa domanda, perché la filosofia dell'IAOI e di noi Ombudsman è superare anche le barriere. E io personalmente, per la conferenza di settembre a Roma, ho invitato gli amici Ombudsman dell'Israele e della Palestina. Non c'è favoritismo, in quanto noi, essendo soggetti terzi, autonomi, dobbiamo garantire i diritti di tutti. Non possiamo fare preferenza di uno rispetto a un altro. E pertanto io mi auguro che sia la Palestina sia che l'Israele partecipino in maniera insieme, comune, a questa conferenza e perché no, anche noi nel nostro piccolo aiutare a superare anche una diffidenza che esiste nel dialogo. E io penso che l'Ombudsman possa aiutare su questa linea. Ciò che è successo anche nel conflitto Ucraina-Russia, dove l'Ombudsman tra i due rispettivi mondi in questo momento aiutano soprattutto nella liberazione dei prigionieri che si fanno dall'una e dall'altra parte. Nell'atto concreto mi auguro che dopo che i palestinesi e gli israeliani possano venire a Roma in Italia, possa rispondere io concretamente alla sua domanda con un atto concreto che in quella sede potremo mettere in campo.
I'm really grateful to you for this question, and I would just like to mention here that my role as an ombudsman is not something limited to a country, but we also transcend. So we talk about global justice, and since the conference that I am organizing, I have also invited the ombudsman from Israel and also ombudsman from the Palestine. So I hope that we will also take up this issue, because also the role of ombudsman is also to play the role of a mediator, how to bring people together, to initiate a dialogue, to find a solution to a problem that already exists. So as I mentioned about the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, at the same time we can also talk about the rights of both the citizens of Palestine and Israel. So I hope that I will be able to find a complete answer to your question once we meet in Rome, and we look forward to a solution and find a way out when we both meet in Rome for this conference.
I'm sorry, please repeat your name. Faruk. Io sono nato in una città che forse per tanti di voi non significa nulla, Cassino e Monte Cassino ebrei, distrutti completamente nel secondo conflitto mondiale dall'esercito alleato americano. E io sono nato in una città completamente distrutta come Hiroshima, Dresda, Stalingrado. E il nostro motto, che oggi campeggia sull'abbazia di Monte Cassino, è una scritta che vale per tutto il mondo: Pax. E io su quel percorso porto avanti anche il mio ruolo, nel mio piccolo.
So Sir was basically born in a city of Italy which is called Cassino, which was totally destroyed during the Second World War. And since we also have, I was born and I have memory of that city which was totally destroyed during the war. And now, like, it was the same case of like the Hiroshima and like other cities which were even destroyed. And still, when we look at like one of the mottos of the city that they find out that is basically which talks about peace, that we can always learn to coexist and we learn to live together. So this was my personal reflection about the question which actually brought me back memory.
Aisha, sir.
Thank you very much. I have two short questions. One, it's very interesting to see that the recognition or the spread of the rights of every citizen are being rolled out, and particularly in younger generation. What role do you think that the international organization can play in collaboration with our local ombudsman to impart curriculum or training from our school children, college-going children, at the same time to bring them equal in progress to understand human rights and how to assert ourselves and how to exercise those. It's not just about human rights for ourselves, but recognition of others' obligations and rights. And my second question is, in terms of what laws and regulations do you think would be required to roll out? It can't be done overnight, I'm sure, for developing countries like ours, where there are conflicting priorities and such like. So, how can our illustrious local ombudsman office play and collaborate with people like yourselves and come to know how in other countries, developing countries, this sort of success has been created? Thanks very much.
Allora, in realtà due domande da lei e anche al signore Khan. La prima domanda riguarda quanto riguardano i diritti dei giovani, per esempio, per quale ruolo può avere l'organizzazione internazionale per un percorso scolastico, per far conoscere ai giovani e bambini a livello della scuola e man mano arrivando fino all'università. Secondo lei potrebbe essere un sistema educativo che forma i giovani nei loro diritti e quale ruolo possono avere gli uffici di Ombudsman in questo riguardo, come ha presentato. La seconda domanda riguarda, the second question was about
how to collaborate in our legislation and
so che è una cosa molto impegnativa per quanto riguardano la difesa dei diritti a livello globale, perché si comportano anche varie convenzioni, diritti internazionali, fa parte anche del diritto internazionale, quindi ci vorrà un coordinamento molto impegnativo da parte dell'ufficio di Ombudsman e anche per quanto riguarda il diritto internazionale. Quindi quale sarebbe la strategia, secondo me? Potremmo avere questi obiettivi.
Sicuramente un rafforzamento sulle linee educative e formative all'interno della scuola. Io le faccio un esempio: in Italia per tanti anni non abbiamo più studiato educazione civica, la Costituzione, e è un paradosso. una cosa del genere. Solo da qualche anno si è ricominciato a studiare educazione civica, diritto, la Costituzione italiana, e c'è quindi una grande fetta di popolazione che non conosce l'ABC della Costituzione, non conosce i diritti fondamentali e come saperli rispettare, perché non bisogna soltanto conoscerli, ma anche saperli rispettare, avere rispetto dell'altro. E quindi un grande investimento culturale sul capitale umano, sulla formazione. Io questo sto facendo in Italia, cominciando dai bambini e per poi andare sulle classi superiori, sulle scuole secondarie.
As far as Italy is concerned, the moment I have taken the role of Ombudsman, I have started to introduce like civic education from the primary school level. So I think this is going to be the first step as far as the rights and the responsibilities of citizens are concerned, because for long in Italy we have ignored this part of the study program, because most of the children, most of the people were not aware of what are their rights, what are the important fundamental aspects of our constitution. So in this regard, I think this is the first step that should be taken at the primary school level, that children should be introduced to the basic rights and the fundamentals of our constitution. What are the values, what are the responsibilities of ombudsman. So when he came back home, his children started asking him about what is the role of ombudsman, what do you do? So that's when he thought about that that's the right moment to introduce this concept to our young children, and he started from the very school level how to introduce the concept of civic education among children so that they become more aware about their rights and responsibilities. So that's, I think, the first step that we should take also here in Pakistan.
E la seconda domanda che poneva, e io le faccio un esempio molto chiaro sull'agenda Karachi che possiamo oggi cominciare. Ci sono tanti cittadini pakistani che lavorano in Italia, che però anche perché non conoscono le opportunità della burocrazia italiana, non sanno a chi rivolgersi per vedere garantito un loro diritto. Certo, su alcuni diritti ci pensa l'ambasciata, però su quelli più comuni che riguardano l'iscrizione a scuola dei figli, la cittadinanza, i documenti per la residenza, oppure le tasse locali, la pubblica amministrazione, non si rivolgono all'ambasciata, ma possono rivolgersi a noi, Ombudsman, per accorciare quella distanza che c'è nei confronti della pubblica amministrazione. Io su questo batterei molto il tema, sui cittadini pakistani residenti in Italia, ma anche su quei studenti che ci sono in Italia, studenti pakistani, che per ottenere un visto, per vedere garantito un proprio diritto, trovano difficoltà. E quindi adesso, mentre venivamo qui, abbiamo sentito l'Università di Cassino, dove dal 2008 ci sono studenti pakistani che studiano a Cassino ingegneria e economia e vogliono sentire anche la vicinanza di un'istituzione come quella dell'Ombudsman della regione del Sindh, per avere anche un supporto morale, non soltanto amministrativo. E io penso che ci siano tutte le condizioni per mettere in campo un memorandum tra le due istituzioni.
As regards your second question about what can be done at international level, so I would just give you an example of Pakistani citizens living in Italy. So they also face a lot of problems, and obviously there are certain issues which cannot be solved only by the embassies or the consulates, because we also have a limited competence. But there are certain issues which are regarding their children, their families, their healthcare rights, their education rights. So these are the issues where they also face a lot of issues with the bureaucratic and administrative administration in Italy. So in that case, the office of the Ombudsman can play a vital role. So this is what I was suggesting, that once we have this memorandum, we can start this process of facilitation the rights of Pakistani citizens who are living and working in Italy. So that would be like another, milestone step in achieving these objectives.
Thank you, Marino.
Thank you very much for a very enlightening presentation. I have two very brief questions. One is that, what is the level of effective role that the Ombudsman is playing in Italy? I mean, the number of the cases that have been filed to the Ombudsman, Italian Ombudsman, by the people, because as Ejasam said that there are around 8 to 10,000 cases that are registered in Pakistani Ombudsman annually. So I just want to know that what is the popularity, actually the level of popularity and the confidence which people have on Ombudsman institution in Italy, number one. Number two, that what is the real reason of cases that have been filed to the Ombudsman? Is it the denial of justice, or is the unavailability of the rights that are not present in the system?
La dottoressa la prima domanda riguarda il ruolo dell'Ombudsman in Italia, quante pratiche si riuscite a poter esaminare.
A livello nazionale, quante richieste avete e qual è il tasso di successo, di quante ne risolvete? Mi ha detto Pakistan riceve 8-10 milioni. La seconda domanda era una domanda che è più giuridica, legal question, the second. So, quindi se i problemi che normalmente ci sono problemi di diniego di giustizia, cioè che il diritto giuridicamente esiste ma non viene implementato dalla pubblica amministrazione, o che se si tratta di diritti umani che non sono previsti nel nostro sistema giuridico.
Facendo un calcolo rapido del totale delle istanze in tutta Italia, siamo inferiori agli 80.000 casi di istanze in totale in tutta Italia all'anno.
So if we look at the number of cases that we receive, it's almost 80,000 a year from all over Italy that we get this kind.
Le statistiche dicono che il 95% delle stanze trovano accoglimento e trovano una soluzione.
And the success rate of those cases is around 95%.
Arrivano anche delle stanze che non sono di nostra competenza e noi le classifichiamo non trattabili.
And in most of the cases where we have such applications where they do not enter into our competence, so we try to we do not admit them, but we also find another alternate solution for these cases.
Qualcosa che può fare anche sorridere, come un cittadino che ha ricevuto un mandato di arresto internazionale ed era all'interno dell'aeroporto di Madrid e non voleva ritornare in Venezuela, altrimenti veniva arrestato, però la prigione in Venezuela era un po' problematica e allora voleva farsi arrestare dalla polizia italiana e mi ha fatto la domanda, la richiesta se io potevo interessare l'Interpol per il mandato di arresto. Ovviamente ho avvisato l'ambasciata di competenza a Madrid spagnola che non è un caso di mia competenza e è una questione che esula dalle mie competenze e l'ha vista l'ambasciata spagnola.
And I have an interesting example to share here that once my office got a request from a citizen who wanted to be, he had like an Interpol arrest warrant in Madrid, but he didn't want to be arrested and sent to Venezuela, so he made a request to my office that he wanted to be arrested by Italian authorities.
Oppure di un cittadino di Roma che aveva litigato con la moglie e mi ha scritto se io potevo fungere da giudice per trovare un accordo di separazione tra marito e moglie.
And once a husband and wife, they had a fight and he wanted me to get involved and get a separation done between them.
Arrivano però delle istanze da parte di cittadini che seppur non sono di tua competenza, ma tu devi non abbandonare il cittadino e portarlo per mano verso un'altra soluzione e quindi indicare un altro percorso. Questo è anche il nostro ruolo per non lasciare nessun cittadino da solo per strada.
But as an ombudsman, our role is not to deny any requests. So when there are cases which are not of our competence, but we try to help citizens in finding them the right forum where they could go and present their case.
In merito alla seconda domanda, sì, sono più questioni che riguardano un diniego della giustizia o amministrativa o governativa o di altro genere, sempre di una mala giustizia che non ottempera a un provvedimento di un giudice.
And as regards the second question, it's obviously regarding the malpractices which are basically also reported to us. So that's also one of the roles of the Ombudsman to identify those cases where the justice is denied and to do their part where they are basically facilitated.
Mentre sono arrivate anche delle istanze di cittadini che chiedono l'affidamento dei figli oppure una sentenza non rispettata da parte di uno dei genitori, però anche questo esula dalle mie competenze, perché sul tema dei bambini, dei children, esiste un altro organismo a livello italiano nazionale che è il garante dell'infanzia e dell'adolescenza, e non è il mio ufficio, il mio istituto che si occupa di children.
And most of the time we also get requests like parents that when there are sentences issued by the judge regarding the rights of the children, and maybe one of the parents they do not respect that. So even sometimes we get those kind of requests, but that does not enter into my office competence. But we try to facilitate those requests as well.
I want to say 80,000 cases a year is a very large number. So do you have a very big staff to deal with it?
Allora, 80.000 pratiche all'anno chiede anche uno staff. Lei riesce a mancanza di personale?
Allora, il numero 80.000 viene dall'addizione di tutte le istanze regionali, perché noi siamo divisi su base regionale. Quindi ogni regione ha il proprio difensore civico, il proprio ombudsman federale, e io faccio il coordinatore, il presidente di tutti gli ombudsman in Italia. E quindi arrivano sul mio tavolo poi i dati, i report, le statistiche che ci aiutano a dire il lavoro di lavoro che tutti gli uffici delle regioni d'Italia lavorano. Tenga presente che facciamo un calcolo, sono 18 per 15, 5 per 8, 40, sono circa 300 dipendenti in tutta Italia.
So we have around 300 staff which are basically working all over Italy as difensore civico, like regional ombudsman, and these are the requests basically which come to us annually, because I am also the coordinator for all the regions of Italy. So we also have like staff which are working in various capacities as we have in SIN. Like,
What is the number of
on this 15. They have like 15. Allora, Regione Lazio quante pratiche hanno? Around 1200.
Anno 2022 1200.
In 2022 they had around 1200 applications. Yeah.
Però poi ci sono altre regioni che hanno uffici più periferici che riescono a ottenere anche 5.000, quindi attenzione, fa totale o totale.
So all over Italy, if we consider all those applications, we are around 80,000, because he is the president of all the regions, so that's why.
I think it's also a question of being aware that the institution exists. That people should know that there is an ombudsman who can bring relief. I think maybe that's not so in developing countries. If there is no other question, I would like to, last question.
Thank you so much. My name is Zulfikar Sharmani, and I am presently serving as Director General in Ombudsman. When coming to the topic today, strengthening global justice, I'd like to ask from the Honorable Guest, what is his perception of global justice? Is he foreseeing any other organization like International Court of Justice to strengthen this global justice system? And regarding the human rights, in a world where we live without civil rights and the fundamental rights, do we have any idea of what human rights can do? Can he explain this?
Dottor Sciavani ha una domanda che per quanto riguarda la figura dell'Ombudsman. Lei ha parlato I just missed the first part of the question.
Regarding the global justice.
Yeah. Qual è la tua visione riguardo il rafforzamento della giustizia globale?
In merito alla domanda che però mi aveva fatto prima la dottoressa Masumas, giusto?
Sì.
Com'è la pronuncia corretta?
Sì, è giusta, Masumas.
Guardi che 80.000 istanze che arrivano sul tavolo del difensore civico, noi non siamo contenti di questo numero.
Actually, on one hand, when we were talking about these 80,000 applications, it does not make me happy overall.
Perché questo comporta un altro dato, che non è solo quello numerico, ma è quello reale. Significa che la pubblica amministrazione non funziona ed è grave questo. Invece ogni anno, noi quando andiamo a vedere la statistica, vorremmo che quei dati non vanno verso l'alto, ma vanno verso il basso, perché significa che funziona meglio la macchina amministrativa, invece non funziona.
Because this also indicates to a social problem that we have in Italy, that when we have these 80,000 cases, it does not show that competence of public administration, so it means offices are not working properly. So our goal is to make it such an effective mechanism that every year this number should decrease rather than increase. So this is why we are trying our best to make the public administration work effectively so that people should not make any complaint to us regarding the system.
Quindi il prossimo anno, se ritorno alla precisa domanda, io vorrei rispondere 60.000 e non 80.000, significa che qualcosa invece funziona.
So if I get a chance to come back to Pakistan next year, I would be happy to mention that this year we got 60,000 but not 80,000, so that I have been able to play a role to make the system more effective.
In merito alla domanda che mi è stata posta sulla giustizia globale e come rispondere sulla pace nel mondo, è difficile oggi poter dare una formula magica su questo tema, però c'è bisogno del sostegno di tutti. Noi nel nostro piccolo possiamo contribuire portando avanti dei piccoli step by step per cercare di dire al mondo intero che noi esistiamo e che facciamo bene il nostro lavoro a beneficio dei cittadini. Quello che fa l'Ombudsman della regione del Sindh, fino a oggi io non sapevo realmente cosa facesse. Se non lo tocco con mano, se non lo vivo con mano, se non capisco, percepisco che c'è da parte del team, non solo del CEO, dell'ufficio, un lavoro sinergico, un lavoro che va a prendere anche l'ultimo della strada e lo porta verso, non verso l'ufficio, ma è l'ufficio che va verso il cittadino, per cercare di risolvere un problema che è anche minimo, ma è questa la missione nostra, è di andare a intercettare singolo per riuscire a risolvere anche un minimo problema. E quindi oggi io vado a casa, domani mattina ho l'aereo, vado a casa, torno in Italia arricchito da questo momento di confronto, perché conosco e porto nel mio bagaglio un arricchimento personale e professionale che prima per me era sconosciuto. Allora bisogna lavorare in sinergia in questo modo.
And as regards your question about global justice, it's a very complex question, and I cannot have a definitive answer to this question. But what I can say that as an individual, I can play my role of learning and implementing what I learned from this experience. Particularly today morning, we had a meeting and we had a presentation with my colleague Ajaz Ali Khan, where we learned that what they are doing in SIM. So I was totally unaware of this experience. So I'm going back to Italy with the hope that there is somebody who is also sharing my same ideals, same values that we are working for. So maybe we can just play our role as an individual, and step by step we can move towards and we can evolve system where people can have more trust, they can have more responsibility, and they can play a role in this regard. So I'm really grateful for this experience, and I'm going back to Italy with this learned experience, which will also make me happy and also work together with these both offices. So this is what we can do as an approach.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'll wrap up this session now. And I want to thank both the speakers, Mr. Marino Fardelli. I had heard so much about you, and it is such an honor that you came and you gave this presentation. And my thanks also to Mr. Ilyas Ali Khan, who is heading this very important institution in Sindh, Karachi, Sindh. I look forward to continued collaboration, and as I said before, we'll be very happy to host any events which you think of, which we can do from this platform. I do think, however, that global justice, yes, we all have to do at an individual level what we can, but I think that institutional contributions are also very important to achieve justice global or regional or local. I thank also the Consul General of Italy with his charming presence and for bringing Mr. Fardelli to this institute. And I do hope that there will be continued collaboration between your consulate and this institution. I'm grateful to you. So let us give a big hand to all of them. This is our journal, which we've been publishing since 1948 without a break. It's the oldest social sciences journal in Pakistan. This is for you, and Ijaz Saab, this is to you. I would request everybody to stay back and have a cup of tea downstairs on the ground floor. Thank you for being here with us today.